The first step in transferring footage from the camera to the editing environment is to take the chip from the camera that you used and insert it into the machine that you're going to use for transfer. Now this assumes that you are doing this transferring before you return the camera to the VML, because the chips that you have been recording onto, if you're using the school's camera, the chips belong to the camera and belong to the school, and you can't take those chips out and return the cameras back. The chips and the camera go together, so you have to make sure to have arranged this before you return the camera back to the VML. You take the SD chip and you can insert it into the school desktop computers, the VML computers, or if you have a laptop, a lot of laptops have their own SD card readers built in, and insert them. And when you do that, on the school desktop or on your laptop desktop will appear the chip. It'll appear like it's a hard drive, because it is, in a sense. It's a volume. Now this is going to automatically open up iPhoto. I'll just quit out of that. So here we have, this is the hard drive that I'm working on for my laptop. This is my external hard drive. So you need to have your external hard drive with you so that you can plug that in. Because the deal is, we've got to get this footage from this chip over to your hard drive. I know this is a very simple concept, but it's really important, and it is something that every semester a number of students fail to remember. They tend to only think of the hard drive of the machine they're working on, and they wind up transferring footage from the chip to the local hard drive of the machine they're working on. And if that machine is a VML machine, well, the moment you log out from your VML editing session, all that footage is erased. And you then have no access to your footage, because your footage is back with the camera, with the chip, and probably the next user has paid attention and erased all of the previous user's media. Now, if you did forget to erase the previous user's media from the chip before you started shooting, well, then you've not only got your footage, but you've got anybody else's footage who didn't erase their footage. I can't stress more strongly how you should not try and go in the card and try and erase their footage. Do it after you've transferred the footage onto your own hard drive. The chances of you breaking important links or so on is just too high. So it's very simple. Open up your hard drive. I've got one here, and open up a folder in your hard drive. I happen to have this folder here, and well, let's see, that's wrong folder. Here's a better folder. And in here, I've created a folder called Camera Tutorial. And I simply you grab that chip, the icon for that entire volume, drag it on the desk onto the folder, and drop it, and it'll copy the entire volume over. Let me show you that just to prove it. Here's the actual original volume. This is the volume that came out of a Canon 60D that I shoot with. And here's the volume that I copied over, the folder I copied over. And what you can see is they are essentially the same materials. And it's really important. If you know about these volumes, you know that the actual media files themselves are located deep inside the folder, and they happen to be mixed in with some other things like these JPEGs and these .logs. And these .movs are the actual media. But you don't want to be copying over individual media files, and the reason is because advanced editing software like Premiere Pro and Final Cut Pro Studio and 7 all require the use of that metadata, and it's stuff you're going to want in the future. The metadata is what's coming in all of these other different folders, although there are some other things. This is a Magic Lantern folder and so on. You need to have the entire package and all the accompanying files and folders copied over. I can't stress this enough. So I've gone and copied all this stuff over. It's on my hard drive now. It's in my folder. I can then eject this chip, knowing full well that I have made a complete copy of my footage, and I can hand the camera back. And if you're smart and conscientious, you'll erase this chip in the camera, you'll reformat it in the camera before handing the camera back to the VML.